Here is a reminder of what the air attack warning sounds like. This is the sound. When you hear the attack warning, you and your family must take cover at once. Do not stay out of doors. If you are caught in the open, lie down. And now here is a reminder about fallout warnings. When fallout is expected, you will hear 3 bangs in short succession, like this.
Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. Saber, rattling, troop build-ups, misinformation and the clutching of peace straws amongst clueless journalists, suggesting it's probably not going to happen because Putin's best buddy in China is in the midst of an omicron spreading sporting event. Clearing away the battlefield fog, Putin, that's the Russians, are going to invade Ukraine as soon as weather permits. Why? Because Russia is a dictatorship. Dictatorships seek out that which can exaggerate their power, and Ukraine in those terms is the only obvious bordering target for Putin. Russia's pinhead dictator wants the world to perceive Russia in the same terms that they used to perceive and fear the USSR, instead of a past its sell-by-date superpower with a midget economy that produces nothing of significance, only arms, and is reliant wholly on exporting oil and gas for foreign currency reserves. That Russia has been building up for in preparations for this war. The great irony is that Ukrainians are the real Russians, for that is where Russia began, in Ukraine. So for many Russians, including Putin, Ukraine being independent is a bit like London being independent of England. And that is how Putin perceives Ukraine and why Putin wants the whole of Ukraine. Something most in the West fail to grasp. He doesn't want Dumbass or Donbass. He wants the whole of Ukraine, lock, stock and smoking, blown up barrel. Meanwhile, the West threatens sanctions, but Russia holds many of the trump cards, as past sanctions have made the Russian economy more resilient to sanctions, and much of Europe, especially Germany, relies heavily on Russian gas. So if there was an opportune time for Russia to go to war, then that time is now. And then we have their best buddy in the East, the other dictatorship, China. You know, they're not reliant on US for computers and other tech. They get it from China like everyone else. And so could begin a chain reaction of actions and reactions that ultimately risks leading to World War III, as what came to be known as World War II sprung from the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, trying to capitalize on Germany's war in Europe. So in 2022 it could be China's attack on Taiwan, trying to capitalize on Putin's war in Europe. I intend to buy the panic, as I usually do. I am not fearing it. Whenever there's panic, I don't have fear. I see opportunity. Whereas most investors, they poop their pants and run a mile. Panic. I don't panic. I embrace panic and buy the panic. And we have an eye on accumulating exposure to Russian stocks via JP Morgan's Russian Investment Trust, GRS. I'll probably start buying at £5.46, but only light buying. The bulk of it will be much lower down, say below below 5. Yes, it could fall even further than 5, all the way down to 250. But I've been trading in and out of this investment trust for decades, so I know we will see £8 plus again someday. In fact, I recently sold it £8.70. You're not going to believe this. I bought during the Crimean War in 2014, piled into GRS, and I sold a few months ago at £8.72. That's true. It's nuts. The reason I sold, because it's a double top. Anyway, this video is an excerpt from my extensive analysis that continues to map out what to expect and do in terms of buying the panic. You know, my psychology is completely different to most investors. I don't panic. You know, maybe because my investing career was born in the fire of the 1987 crash that I beat. I actually beat the 1987 crash. My investing career is born in panic. You know, I don't see panics the same way most investors do. I don't even see him as a panic. I see him as a money. So I'm buying the panic in US tech stocks that apparently no one saw coming. My latest analysis that maps out, that is bubbling under the surface, and what I am doing. The whole of which was first made available to patrons who support my work. So for immediate first access to all of my analysis and trend forecasts, then do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $4 per month, which is nothing. You know, we could have got Facebook at $2.36 instead of $3.36. You followed my analysis. And Google at $25.12. Whilst my latest extensive analysis lays out my plan for what to expect and do next as we head towards the first Fed rate hike. Hint: stocks will bottom before the first rate hike. Oh well, I expect them to do. And access to my recent timely analysis that lays out how to invest during the panic of 2022 and beyond. Key strategies and investing lessons that every investor needs to learn to wrap their heads around. Otherwise, they're going to be like reeds blowing in the wind. So again, do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $4 per month, as I and my patrons capitalize on the stock investing lemmings as they leap off the edge of the stock cliff. Just $4 per month for a head of the curve analysis. Else it's a case of being left to the mercy of the clowns on the likes of CNBC. What? It's like, it's mind numbing. When I watch CNBC, it's mind numbing. These clowns were promoting buying Facebook stock hours before its earnings collapse. You know, someone watching that going, oh look, lady, he's a billionaire, he's buying Facebook. Oh, at $3.25, I'm going to buy it as well. What the hell? A few hours later, what the hell is... I've lost all my money. And then after it's clapped, you got more CNBC clowns promote selling the stock after it's collapsed. What the hell? You know, it does. I can understand why so many investors lose money and live in perpetual fear and FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of the panic. Because of these clowns on CNBC and the rest of the financial media, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Seriously. My analysis is straightforward and simple. You buy the deviations from the high in good stocks. Simple. You know, that's why I bought Amazon. And then, well, I sold it some of it last week when it popped up. I bought it because it was down about 25%. Anyway, you got a choice. You could either enjoy your trip to a zero account balance if you watch the likes of CNBC Financial Clown Show, or go and read some of my past analysis and see where you would be. Go and read what I wrote in December. Mapped out this trend trajectory of a peak into early January, then down into mid-February. Which looks, well, for what happens next, you're going to have to become a patron. I nearly gave it away. No. So do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work as we ride the quantum AI mega trend into the future. Become cyborgs. investing cyborgs, no fear, no greed, just mechanical cyborgs collecting the dollars from the lemmings as they leap off the edge of the CNBC clown show cliff.